Now I call the LGUs. The national governments needs your help during this time. But I want to tell you, do not make this quarantine or quarantine more difficult for our people than it already is. LGUs should take note of this. That at this time, let us make ourselves clear that we are not separate from a republic or from each other. There is only one republic here, the Republic of the Philippines, and therefore you should abide by the directives of the national government when it sets abide by the directives of the whole for the good of the country and the protocols observed during the time of the lockdown. Let me add that at this time, I do not think it is just a quarantine or quarantine. I think that we are already in the stage of a lockdown simply because the contagion continues to take its toll in the countryside. I know you have the mandate to deal with the emergencies affecting your localities. I was a mayor myself, in case you have forgotten. But this is an emergency of national proportions, and therefore it is the national government that should call the shots. The national government body in charge of laying down the standards for the quarantine is the IATF, or the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases. Let me be clear to everyone. So, when the IAF says, do not restrict the flow of cargo of whatever type, then no LGUs should say that they only follow or allow food or essentials goods to come in. You are setting already your standards and making this quarantine more difficult for all. I am ordering all LGUs that are doing this to stand down and to abide by the directives of the IATF, the task force, not mine, but the task force, and those issued by the Office of the President, and to make sure that what the IATF say should be closed is closed, and those that should be open stay open. You know the only reason why you can impose these quarantine restrictions and impose it on everyone passing your areas is because the national government is allowing you to do so. But if you go beyond the standards that we have set, you are abusing your authority, and you know that it can lead to administrative cases or even worse unless you stop what you are doing and completely, fully. Criminal cases cannot be far behind. I am therefore directing the DILG and DOJ to closely monitor the compliance of LGUs in the directives of the office, and to file the necessary cases against the wayward officials. You know, let me be just Sundin na lang natin. Total, para man ito sa lahat. Do not try to overdo things or think that you can do what you want to do because that is not allowed. We, move in one direction, in one unison, precisely to place the contagion in control for the better health of our Filipino, our countrymen. In the coming days, we will need the help of the LGUs more and more. So I want to make this clear early on. Let us work together to implement this quarantine, and it should all begin with the LGUs making sure that your actions are consistent with the national directive. To do otherwise would sow confusion